Ooh, it is a hot one today. First time we got our heat advisory. Yeah. How are you drinking hot coffee then? Out of a mug. Sorry. Everyone, I hope you're having a great day. If you're not, let's change that. I'm glad you're back with me. We're going to get right into it. I said we're going to get right into it, but I'm just going to shoot from the cuff. Is that what they call it, shoot from the cuff? I don't know. I am tired. I'm trying to do that whole get up, actually go to the gym, have a routine, stick to it, die on the Stairmasters. You visit Jesus' living room while you're on it, and he's like, "Oh, you too early," and I'm all, that mean I don't have to work out? He goes, "No, you need to build the bodies that the dreams I've given you to hold." So I stayed on that Stairmaster. I'm telling you, I was not okay, and I gotta do it again tomorrow. But I'm doing it. He's holding me accountable, and you hold me accountable too. Accountable? No, accountable. All right, let's get to it. James. Yes, I am still in the book of James. You know why? Because God said don't move from it. Yeah, he has shown me many scriptures that come back to James. And I'm going to say this. If you don't know what to read and you're going through hard times, which I've read some of your comments, and a lot of you are in the same boat as I am, James, Romans, Hebrews, those are the ones I go to. Those are mine that I've noticed that the Lord points me in that direction when stuff like this happens, because he's putting you through a season. But it's not an ordinary season. No. This year, it's a different kind of season, and we're not going to waste this season. No, that's the biggest accountability. We're not going to waste it. We're going to be sensitive to what the Lord is telling us, and we're not going to relearn stuff. This time, we're going to get it. You know why? Because anything that pops up, we're going to call on him. We're not going to feed into fear. We're not going to feed into it in that. And you're like, oh, that's easily said. You're right. So I'll tell you what I did to deal with my double-minded thinking self. And the Lord is always there. He is a loving, caring Father. Anytime I've gone through something and I brought it back to him, he gives me encouragement more than I can say. And this was the first time the Lord was like, I have you. Because I was almost in tears. So let me start with this journey. I'm going to start with James 1. I'm going to read it because I don't want to, I'm going to paraphrase read it, but I want you to get it. So James 1, verses 6 and 7, it says this: when we ask God for help or wisdom, we must believe and not doubt. Hold up. I know what you're already thinking. Hold up. We're going to talk about that word doubt in a minute. James says the person who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. And then he drops the heavy truth on us. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Now, you're thinking doubt, because that sneaks up on us. But they're not talking about a doubt the way we see it. This is the doubt they're thinking of, or the word means. From the Greek word doubt, James is using it meaning we're at odds with ourselves. We're trying to walk down two separate paths. In verse 8, he calls it double-minded, which literally means two-souled. I'll give you an example when this happened to me and how I was struggling with it and how God speaks to me. So I'm sitting downstairs. I'm about to eat some, I think, early lunch because we're going to Bible study later on. And someone came up on my feed and it was like, stop doubting. And I was like, oh, Lord, what you got for me? Because that's what I was doing. I kept it quiet. I kept saying, yeah, the Lord's got me. Guys, yeah, he let me free from that job. He's doing all. But secretly, I was like, okay, backup plan. So I watched the guy, and he was saying the Lord showed him all these wonderful opportunities he was going to have, all these things he was going to do for his community and church. And he was like ready for it. He's like, yeah, Lord, let's do it. Let's bring it. But anytime he tried to walk in it, something was like hindering him. Something would come up. And he was just like, you said you going to take care of me and handle these things. Yet every time I tried to move forward, I'm blocked. And he's telling his wife this. And he goes, his wife said to him, she was quiet, but then his wife just said a few words. She goes, well, do you believe it in your heart? And he said he got quiet. He goes, I mean, I say it, I'm living it. But she's like, do you believe God really is going to come through with everything he's shown you? And he goes, no. Because what he's showing me is so grand. It's things I never thought I would accomplish or see. And he goes, no. And she goes, well, you need to go and deal with that. And that's when he came to James, the book I was already reading. Because my aunt told me to go read this book from Ohio. She said, James, on the first day she learned about me getting laid off, she said, go to James. And I read this, and then I went back to reread it. And he says, that was the issue. I was saying, I do believe God's going to come through, but in my quiet, private time, I'm like, oh, well, if God doesn't come through, I need to set this up. And we can't be like that. We can have doubts like, Lord, I know you have the plan for me, but I'm a little scared. Can you help me with my faith? How can I get close to you, Lord? This is how you work with a partner. Because remember, the Lord is not only our Father, he's a partner. This is how you speak to him when doubt comes up. You're like, it's coming in, Lord. It's coming in quick. I hear it. I feel it. Lord Jesus, what do I do in this situation? You give it back to him when that doubt comes in. However, before I got to that point, I watched it. And it's like, how are you going to go to the altar and ask for God to do something, but in the background, you already thinking of how you're going to fix the plan that you're asking God to do? No. That's really offensive. That's like me coming to you. I know you have the 20 in your hand. You got the 20. I said, God, I'll borrow 20. But then I go to your neighbor and ask for their 20. You're like, I have the 20. Then why would you ask if I was going to give you the... See how offensive that is? You see how rude that is? So imagine us doing it to the Lord. So let's stop that. It's okay to have doubt, but it's not okay to go and pray for something and then immediately start thinking of another path. He's got us. All we need to do is be obedient. So now, after I watched that, and now I'm just like, am I just offending you, Lord, every day, every single day? I don't want to do that. Am I just talking to you out of desperation? A little bit. I'm going to name it. I'm a little bit desperate, but I'm really not, because I have my daily bread and I live still in abundance. You see, the world really good at switching our worldly lenses on and off and playing with us. Now I don't do that no more. But how did I not do it anymore? I had to lay it at the altar. What does that look like? I will tell you. So Wednesday I went to Bible study. One of my awesome people were sitting in front of me, and she had the spirit I had. We here today, Bishop. We here today. But there's also something in the air that day. That one that he didn't record it. There was something there. So we were still talking about Joseph. Joseph, whew, he went through a lot. He had three things before he got to the palace. He just did. There was just a lot going on with Joseph, but it was all for preparation for where he needed to be to help his people. No time was wasted. Nothing was missing. It was all God's master plan. But here it was. So our bishop was talking about Joseph. And at one point, but the way our bishop was talking that night, I could tell bishop's usually a lot of yes and yeah, or he hits you in your forehead. It's one or the other. But there was something, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I was thinking it was just me. It was me and it's me. And I'm projecting it onto Bishop. Until Bishop said, no, we're going to have a real night today. Because he's all, something happened to me. And I was like, oh, Lord, you just dropping bombs on all of us? And it wasn't. Let's see if you catch it, why it wasn't bombs. It may have felt like it, but it wasn't. So he's talking about how Joseph did everything right. And yet he still ended up in prison. He did everything right and he still ended up in prison. Then our bishop asked us this one question. He says, how is it that you can do right, but you still being tested? At first, I did not want to hear that question or even touch it. Because I said, I don't want to talk about the past anymore. I'm very one of those like, it happened, let's move on. But sometimes you got to unpack the past so that either you don't do it again or you learn the lesson that God's trying to give you so that you don't have to go through it again. But that was the real question. I was doing right. I had 0 write-ups. I still have vacation on the books. I showed up early. I bought stuff. And yet I was the one let go. But if I'm being honest with you, this was my plan when I got this job. And I usually try to stay on a job for 5 years to show, loyalty. But also if I haven't grown, it's time to move. People like 5 years, 6 months. If I haven't got a promotion, I'm out. I say I'm going to work 2 years. Save up enough money in my savings for 2 years. And then I'm going to start a YouTube channel on education. And finally put a book out. Not book, but a YouTube thing on everything I've seen at different districts, how some things work and how some things didn't work. And if all we just could talk to each other, we probably have an amazing school system. So I was going to put it out there on YouTube so that I can help teachers, anyone in the school system. That was the plan. God said we expediting that, and I'm going to give you a new topic, a topic worth talking about, a topic that's going to change lives. How about that? Okay. God's got a plan. And he wants you in on it too, but you got to partner up. So how is it that you could do right, but you're still being tested? At the end of service, Bishop gave us 3 minutes. He says, whatever is weighing us down, whatever is just bothering us, you need to bring it forward to the altar. He's like, but we stayed in our seats. And then he got quiet and he let us do that. I realized what the weight was. It was double-mindedness. And I know I've been like this maybe for any time it gets pressure. And I said, Lord, if I ask for the help, I'm expecting to get it today. Because I've done this before, once before. I know, only one time, yes. It was when I was negatively speaking to myself, and I've never done that. But once again, I wasn't even at a pinch point. It was just, I was just in a place where every day was looking exactly the same. I was like on a treadmill. Nothing was happening. I was comfortable. I was numb. I wonder if I was depressed. Because that sounds like depression. That could be it. I'm good at catching myself with that. But at this point, I needed God's help. So this was a while back. Bishop says, if you're dealing with those thoughts of just talking negative to yourself, he says, you come to the altar, you leave it here, and you don't pick it up. I went to that altar, and I said, I'm not taking this, Lord. You take it. I was not meant to live like this. My name is Danielle. It means joy, literally. This ain't mine. Never has been. Never was. I don't know who gave me this, and I accepted it. And I left it there, and I never picked it up. And I've never talked negative about myself. Look, I'm my own best friend. I will hype me up in a minute. And so, but this time I needed the help again. I said, Lord, you have me, but I need to fully 100% believe that. So I'm leaving this double-mindedness here. I'm not serving 2 masters. You're my only master. Here, Lord, I need you to take this. I was praying hard. I was like, please just take this from me. Take this from me. That's all I kept saying. And when the 3 minutes was up, it was like a weight was lifted off. All of a sudden, I was bursting with creativity again. I was excited. Because I gave it to the Lord and I left it. How do you leave it? You don't pick it up. Does doubt still creep in? It creeped in last night at 2:40 in the morning. And it was sneaky. It was sneaky this time because I took out the trash all the way down to the sidewalk, which I never do, our food trash can, because we have the wild burros. Yes, we have the burros. And they like to come and kick the trash can and eat out of your trash cans. But, you spray pine sol on it. It kind of deters them. So I was sweating. I was like, oh my gosh, the burros are going to come and kick the trash cans, Lord. Please, Lord, don't let the burros come. And then all of a sudden, I went in, your savings account's going to be empty. You're not going to have money. You're going to lose the house. What in the ham and cheese did that come from? The burros going to take my house? No, they're not. They use the Ring doorbell like everybody else. They don't get to just come up in here. They don't come in here. I'm just joking. They don't come in here. But where did that come in? Oh, it's sneaky. And so what I did, once I realized what was happening, I said, Lord, I apologize for not catching it. But now I caught it. I'm going to need you to come in and erase this. I'm going to need you to come in. Just give me a word of confidence. Bring down my heart rate. I don't know why this even came, Lord. You know what? That's not even the question. I need you to take this from me. Next thing I know, so funny. I just talked about the burros and they're outside. God got jokes. They're making loud noises too. I hope you don't hear that. It's hot, babies. Go somewhere where it's cool. Anyways, he calmed me down. And then I went right to sleep. Only to be woken up by my alarm to tell me to go and work out. No, God is good. I can work out. And I feel it. So, that's what I did. I took it to the altar. I suggest you do the same thing. Take it to the altar. So let me tell you what happens when you stop working or being two-souled. You step right into what the Bible calls shalom. And true peace, it isn't just the absence of trouble. It just means true peace. And if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. The root definition of the word is total wholeness. It means, let me see if you heard this before. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. Let me say it again. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. I've heard that before. The first time I heard it, I was like, ooh, I like that. Now when it popped up, I loved it because I now got it. I now got it. It hit. So, and the thing is, I heard this before. First at a Bible study, then the next day at Sunday from a different person. God always drops it. I think God likes to play a little, I'm gonna throw this out so early, and you gonna catch it. And when you catch it, you're gonna only know that it was only God. That's why he does stuff like that. Because that was only God. Woo! Nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. Keep that in your soul. For all of those who are going through job loss right now, if you are watching this, we are connected. It's not just for me. I'm just telling you my side of the story. But what coming from the word, what he's telling me, it's for you as well. That's why he's making me do this. That's why I'm being obedient to do this. God doesn't make us do anything. We have a choice. That's why I'm choosing to follow God and be obedient, because this has strengthened me. I hope it's strengthening you. Look, I got a song in my head, and I'm trying not to just be like, nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. All right, so do you see the connections? Do you see my circumstances on paper have not changed? I still have this much in my account. I still have bills to pay. However, I'm not lacking creativity. I'm not lacking anything. Like, spiritually, I'm not lacking. And isn't that the most important thing? Our salvation, our connection with God, our growth. I know I've been praying for that more than anything now. I have job loss, but my prayers is, please, Lord, let me grow in you. Let me be a disciple of you. Let my words be of your words. Let me walk like you walked, Lord Jesus. And help me with the places I struggle. Please, Lord, don't let me have that wall up like, I hear what you're saying, but that's difficult. You're with me, meaning I can do it. That's how my prayers sound now. Back in the days, be, Lord, thank you for my job. Thank you for my bank account. For blessed to be able to bless my home. in my life. Those things will come if you seek the Lord. He will provide everything for you and more. Yee. So the proof is immediate. Mine was peace. The video that was before this one was upgraded. I didn't have this weight on me of, am I doing the right thing? Is this what he's all, just do what I ask you to do. Be obedient. I will handle everything else. Truly. So if you're watching this and you're in a dry season, I'm going to call it dry season. I said opportunity season. But we'll say dry season because some of us, it could be our dry season. I've been through many dry seasons before, and then God brought me out. This time, he's really going to be bringing me out. But, sorry, my watch just went off. I was like, I don't know the number. Maybe you lost a job or a relationship or you're facing some kind of mountain. Stop trying to live with a backup plan. Yeah. Nah. Stop trying to live with a backup plan. Whatever he's telling you to do, he has you. I know that pressure fills it. In fact, I have another one from James. Hold on. James 1 verse 4 actually opens up like this. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. I'll say it again. This is James 4. Let perseverance finish its work. Let it finish its work so that you may mature and complete, not lacking anything. That's in the Bible. Spirit, speak it over your life right now. Remember, nothing missing, nothing lacking, nothing broken. I hope this has encouraged you. If you like it, please subscribe, leave a like, but most importantly, do what he's asking you to do. Partner up with the Lord. Be a partner with him. I talk to him all throughout the day now. Really do. I used to just talk to myself. Now I invite him in the conversations. And he'd be talking. There are times I'm like, and this is where I said, help me with these walls. I will open that Bible just for my meditation. Next thing you know, I was in there for an hour and a half because I got notes. I was just inspired. When I do it, when we do it, when the Lord and I are doing it, and we're just the two of us, it's different than how you see it now. It's more like he's over my shoulder going, yeah, look at this part. Yeah, highlight that part. Because I just started highlighting in my Bible. I used to be so against that. I like a clean Bible. But he says, no, I need you to start highlighting the ones I need you to. And I'm like, okay. However, I got the lightest highlighters that I possibly could find. And I still have my journal. Or sometimes I'll be at my desk and he's sitting over there and he's like, yeah, read that again. All right, I want you to sit. Remember when you were struggling with this? This is it. Last night, what I was struggling with, I'm in James, but he took me to Zechariah. And I read from my, Application Study Bible. And in this Bible, it gives you the top, which is the Bible part. And then down here, it's the study part. And this is what gave me calm and peace. And I'm going to end it here. Be faithful in the small opportunities. Begin where you are and do what you can and leave the results to God. That's Zechariah 4:10, but I'm reading it from my Application Bible and I'm going to read it again. Be faithful in the small opportunities. Begin where you are and do what you can and leave the results to God. And that's all I'm going to say. Leave the results to God. Have a beautiful day, everybody.